the primary reason for choosing Prince County was the educated populace that they have here. I first looked at Arlington and then Tyson's Corner, and see how the population there, and although they have more IT personnel in that area, what I found in the Manassas County, that I had access not only to the population of IT professionals that I needed, but the cost that savings that I had for the property that I was looking to rent to start my business was a big difference. In Arlington, you're looking at about $40 to $45 a square foot. And in Tyson's Corner is probably even more than that, about $50 a square foot. Here, I get access to the same amount of quality, but about $17, $18 a square foot. So it was a pretty easy decision. So that's the main reason that I did that. And the second reason was I worked in the Pentagon for the last 10 years before I retired. And the commute going from where I live in Berg to DC was something I didn't want to face every day, and now I'm going reverse traffic, which makes the travel and the commute to work a pleasure to be, and even going home it's a lot easier as well. I was in the Army for 23 years, of course. I was a contracting officer, so I was a program manager, and doing similar things, but from the government side. So I learned a lot of the business of doing contracting with the federal government. So when I retired, I decided to go and work first for a mid-sized company to understand how they do the business on the civilian side. After about a year of working as a vice president at a local company here in Manassas, I decided to launch my company in the information technology and the cybersecurity arena. So it was a pretty easy match for me because I understood it from the government side, and then going to the civilian side was a very easy step for me to do. The biggest difference that I've noticed in the last 8 years since I've been here is the infrastructure growth. One of the things that the Tysons and the Arlington community have is the infrastructure. In other words, the infrastructure for internet and cybersecurity, although they didn't have it before 8 or 9 years, now we have it. One of the biggest things, I just got into a contract with Comcast that they actually lay in fiber optics to my entire building so I could have access to 100 megabits of bandwidth for my networks, which I'm doing a lot of cybersecurity and IT infrastructure. That wasn't available about 7 or 8 years ago. As a matter of fact, they didn't even have cable. That was one of the drawbacks. I actually had to invest a lot of capital in putting bonded T1 into my building a few years ago, but that today doesn't do the need that I have. With bonded T1, you only get about 3 megabits, but now I have access to about 100 megabits of bandwidth, which is critical to continue to grow in this area.